Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day. Welcome back to Pocus Hocus. We are currently in hell, and things are getting crazy. Or crazier. We're already in hell, so I guess things are pretty crazy. As one does. Go to hell, get your soul. Fight with demons. And we are back at flatting the process of separating the colors. Foreground, background. In this case, the demon is just one skin color. I don't believe he wears pants. Teresa's question is, how do you use the bathroom? When he showers, does he use shampoo? Does he wax the horn? So many questions. If you were listening to the music at the beginning, I made it. That way I know I don't get shut down or sued or told not to use it. At least I know that I can use it because I made it. Also, I like using my own stuff. It's not for any other purpose than my own. I do make weird music, I suppose. I would say it's contemporary. Hmm. Once I get some links and stuff, I should be able to start posting links along with these videos to where to pick the issues up. I know we ran Kickstarters that were very successful Kickstarters, and recently we were picked up, so this book's doing pretty well for itself, I will say. And it's fun to work on. And I think that shows a lot through the artwork, is when you find something that you're like doing, it looks better. Go figure. When you like doing the job, things just seem to go smoother. Now, so many color choices. I think we'll go with, better turn my phone off. I think we'll go with like a white color on this. Her skin color, a bit different. Strange lady, I guess. In the script, doesn't give any sort of color specifications, so she seems to be fairly unassuming in this page, on this page, and then later reveals her true colors. No pun intended. I know what this show is. Bring up the chat windows here. Make sure I'm not leaving any of you to the wolves. Just what I'm doing there, I'm just separating her from the background. That way I can just go in with the other color. I think I'll use this one. Just select that entire robe and subtract from her face. And the rest of her clothes. There we go. And then we're just going to select this color here. Go around her robes. Go through the edges. I know that there's some people out there that enjoy this process of coloring, but this is, for me, this is before you get to the good part. This is all more or less file setup. Not necessarily the artistic side of coloring. I guess the color choices that I do choose is somewhat artistic, but not really. I believe that is her hair. Even though you can't really see it back there, I still like to put the color behind it, because when you remove it, it's still got to have color to it. And old thing, I guess, from working at Hi-Fi, Hi-Fi Studio, that we used to do, make sure that there was color behind it. Looks like she probably wears dark robes underneath. Using a hard brush to get all those little eyeballs there. I'll color hers in a little later, just enough to separate it for now. Might as well, I'm already here. The blue through here is what I was referring to earlier. Might as well have the color behind it. Otherwise it's see-through, transparent, translucent. I guess not really translucent. Another book that I'm working on with the same team, which I did one stream for, but the sound quality on it was off. So it sounded terrible. But it was the cover for Grandma Chainsaw. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it. It's kind of cool. It's just fun. If you just want something to sit down and read, that's just fun. Grandma Chainsaw, that's where it's at. Thinking back to the pages that I colored, realizing that I said that it's just a fun book. The first few pages is people getting chopped up. What does that say about me? Very simple to color. Mr. Pocus. In the beginning, I gave him multiple shades of gray, and that actually seemed to cause more trouble for coloring purposes later. Because even though they get 256 shades of gray, that's right. Thank God there wasn't that many books. 256 shades of gray. But you can't just use them all. I mean, you can. But getting a lot of depth in some of those first couple pages was a little difficult without having to muddy it all up. But the art style's kind of changed since then. And along with it has the coloring. Not so sure that's her hair down there on her neck. I think originally it had a red, white, and blue look to it, and then I changed it closer to the end. I think she was wearing a red skirt with a blue top. Might have been a blue jacket with a white top. But I changed her around a bit so it wasn't so patriotic looking. Not that there's anything wrong with patriotism. Just not something I think that she was into. I know the cat's after me. See, she gets white gloves. Get a sneak peek at some earlier pages. Going back, grabbing them for the colors that I chose, using my own pages as reference. It's just what you have to do for consistency. If you are new and starting out, you will be going back to your own work quite a bit. Unless you work in a studio where you have to match lots of other people's colors. And it doesn't really matter because you're just using theirs as your reference material. Have her gloves out there. I know that. She's wanting attention right now. It seems that lately, anytime that I'm doing anything, she requires extra attention. Sometimes I'd like to be able to use the control key or the alt key, because it's very helpful for using keyboard shortcuts. But I have a needy cat. Let's get her own computer so she can leave me to mine. There's something with that ground. Where did I color dirt before? Maybe we'll do it a little darker. It's like Oklahoma dirt, it's kind of reddish. In case anyone didn't know, Oklahoma dirt is actually colored pretty red. If I remember correctly, it's because of the clay. And this is how, thank you, Nova. I color. I will grab all the colors of the people. Don't forget that one. And I put them on their own layer. I use a screen mode, just like that. And then I mask it off. I don't think, can you see that? You can see that on the stream. This right here, I'll have to fix right now though. Red is a good color for it. But I'll worry about the shading for it later. It's all under his hat. What am I thinking? That shadow across his eyes, through there, across his cheek, down his nose. The grandmother's house we go. Lips, just like that. Whatever I can clean up this process. My cat is just trying to get up here. She's wreaking havoc. What do you want? Come on. Come on. Move the shapes where the light source may be. Looks like it's from above, judging by the shadows. Da, 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 da. That's she made it. Don't do that. Little mouse around their eyes get me a little nervous. Sure, I'm talking about you, you know about. I guess if you are still watching this, most likely quite cat. Give me some suggestions. Give me some comments or something. Thing. Well, the thing, but that's something that you'd like to see. Maybe something I was thinking about is finding some old artwork that I colored when I first started doing it and recoloring it today and seeing how much I improved or how much that I sucked. Because that could happen. Can't be good forever. But that's what. Careful what she said on the internet. Could be there forever. Alrighty. So the thing with her robes that I wanted to do, I still gotta go and clean these guys up just a bit with a different brush. Get a smaller brush here. Draw some happy little lines. Some happy little highlights. I believe I said draw, and I mean paint, but it's not even paint. It's really just pixels. Little points of light that says it looks like this, or it looks like that. He's still right here, just chilling, messing around with my pen as I'm drawing with it, painting. Oh, you can't lay across the board. No, that was dumb of me. I went over it with the wrong shade. It's okay. I need to fix those anyway. Get up in there too. This demon seems to be alright. As far as demons go. Never met one personally. Not sure. I can't say that. Careful what you say on the internet. It can be used against you in a court of law. Kind of messed that up around in there. I went to a different light source. And it's almost fixed. Get some highlights on the dress, skirt, like that. If you're tuning in and you're watching at dinner time, what the hell are you doing? Go enjoy dinner. People, come to a stream during dinner time. But thank you, I suppose. One second as I send a text. Oh, I have to also make sure that Alan is doing a show. Alan, one of the creators and writers of this book, is going to be on a different live stream. So I'm going to go and copy this and share it to him. Sending out some links, as one does. Move some things around. All right, Nova. You become a nuisance. I'm hoping that my YouTube stream has started. Bear with me. Oh, Nova, don't be moving. Goodness. Hey, 1 second, 1 second. Oh, Nova. Causing chaos. Let's see here. I don't know how much of a latency there is between your guys' chat to the stream. Hey, Alan. Nick. Live and in person, what do you have to say about that? Not a lot. So there was some things I had to work out over on the other screen, make sure everything was working correctly. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if it is still working correctly. Guess I'll find out later. Or just let me know if it's still working in the chat. If you don't use YouTube, you can check it out live on Facebook as well. If you are part of the Zuckerberg sheep, or whatever you want to call it, it's live there. I tried doing it through Instagram, but I didn't take enough time to figure all of it out. And I think that I'd have to do it separately from everything else. So I'm still not sure if I want to throw it up on Instagram. I may support the Great Old Chinese app of TikTok. So there is that. Thanks for letting me know, Jay, that it ended on YouTube. Because it does still show that it's going, but the stream also said that it ended. So what I'll do is I'll restart that stream. We'll do it. We'll do the whole thing again. We'll do it live. And Jason McCowan, I see you in there too. In a meeting and watching my stream. Much love. If you wanted to know what it was like to be a colorist, this ain't it. No, I figure this is probably what some out there go through. If they do live streams and such. Not everybody does. It's because I had a different time set on YouTube. Interesting. I wasn't aware. Alright, so it should go live here. On YouTube as well. Feel free to share all the links that you possibly can. YouTube, it seems to be lagging quite a bit. You know, you pay for internet, you get what you get, right? Well, actually, I guess I'm not getting what I get. I should be getting high-speed internet. It is what it is, though. Some rim lighting, highlights, highlight, highlight, highlight. I know that it is trying to connect to the YouTube stream, but having some difficulty, it seems. That's okay. It can all be checked out later because it still gets recorded on the backside. So that is just a little something extra. Now that I think about it, am I recording? Wouldn't that be something? Start a whole video and be like, and it's not going to be recorded for you guys either. It's okay. Even Disneyland had its problems on opening day. Jurassic Park, that's where I learned that. I don't know if it's accurate. Highlights, yo. She gets some on the backside. Highlights, I mean. Or reflective lighting, that's what you could also call it. Bounce lighting, same difference. Keep switching my colors to different ones there. How you doing, Jay? Watching this on Facebook. I'm assuming, since YouTube is still having some trouble. But there it goes. Hooray. As soon as I say something, you gotta call it out. Otherwise, they'll just mess with you. The highlight on our hair. Some of the back highlights. Oh, what an adorable little demon. He looks alright. Alright, Lars, you let me know if that stream is still working for you on YouTube. If not, just go to the main channel. You should see the video there. Just looks like you guys are alright. Need to figure out a way to incorporate all chats onto one location. Hey, there we are. Good. Sweet. Good. Glad to hear it. That was a mistake. Yeah, for this mysterious looking lady. Known only as woman in this room. Sometimes I look at the scripts, sometimes. Most often I look at the scripts for color cues. There's nothing worse than coloring an entire scene and to be nighttime, and when you go to turn it in, you find out that it was supposed to be day. Oops. It's good to have that stuff in there. Lord of the Rings. There's a few scenes that they filmed during the daytime, but then in order to make them look like nighttime, they put a color overlay onto it to make it look like night. And I thought to myself, well, if they could fool me, Lord of the Rings, then she'll be able just to fool anybody on Photoshop, right? So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's a strong highlight right there. Give it some texture through his scalp there so it doesn't look so plain and blank. Give him some rough little highlight texture for his chest here. Something I've been doing since the beginning. I know it's super zoomed in right now, but when we zoom out, it'll look a little different. It'll look like little dots. Well, it'll still look little dots, but it'll look like design dots. Professional dots. That's a bad idea, sir. And I'm going outside the lines right there. That's fine. I haven't colored the background yet, so I'm not too concerned about it. It's still nice to keep within the lines as much as possible. That's kind of the reason why we flat the images. So we don't do that. Sometimes, just to go with the flow of it, the color and painting wise. Little head up here. Mm-hmm. And let's see, what else? Where else was she? Down at the bottom, wasn't it? Yeah, through here. I'll get a bigger brush. I don't want to get up there onto that layer or to that panel. Just stick with this panel. And then at the end here is where it looks really cool. When we do all the fun stuff. Oh, more fun stuff? I like that image. It looks like it's from like an anime. Like the older school animes. See, we'll take that color. Tad a bit more. Well, let's just tell it to do some different pixels, some more pixels. What about 10 different kinds of shades of pixels? Or 10%? I'm gonna try that. That looks better. And then I'm going to create like this little highlight glow. Don't worry about anything, I'm just making the glow. And my focus is just where her robe is. Maybe something like that. A little too much. Maybe a little too much. I'll say okay to that. Then we're going to do this thing, which is layer masking again. And I'll show you why. All that I filled in up to there. And all that there. I'm going to go right down to the bottom of that panel. And we're going to go through this part of that panel. Right there to the edge of that one. And we're just going to fill all that with this black color. And now we're just focusing on her. And she has a nice little mysterious glow effect. I'll change that here. Blend that in just a little more. Alrighty. Now let's clean this up. as I was saying earlier, if you guys have ideas and stuff that you'd like to see, one idea that I had for this streaming is maybe take something that I did a long time ago when I was first learning the color, or just whatever, to just kind of switch it up and then redo it today, see if it looks a little different. Maybe it looks better, maybe it looks worse. Just let me know what you guys think. Or you can just be like, no, just do what you're doing. But, you can always change it up. Maybe dress like a clown. Yeah, you like how she came out looking like that. I may add some more highlights to her face, definitely to the lips, make it look a little shiny. Right now I'm going to focus on this background here. Not a whole lot going on to the backgrounds. Brian, he does most of the work when it comes to the backgrounds. Well, at least in these first few pages. He adds those like nice little sparkle effects, which helps out. But I guess at the same time it won't matter, because we'll have our little balloons up at the top. So he does a good job of character placement. He's pretty mindful, looks like, of where he leaves room for the letterer to come in to do his thing, which is Dave in this case. Dave Lentz. Oh, look at that, look at that. It just blends right in. Oh, isn't it amazing? The wonderful world of color. Sue me for that one, Disney. Wasn't it Disney or the Wonderful World of Color? Like back when we figured out that there was crayons. Alrighty. And now we do the little sparkly sparks. Or did we do the sparkly sparks? I think they may be covered up through here. And there. Honestly, I think I'm going to work on the highlights more on her face. Let's do a little something different for her. Oh, that looks pretty. That's pretty colors all up close. But let's blend it a little more. Get my nice little blending tool. This is actually a tool set that I got from a colorist friend of mine several years ago. John Rock. He's been doing it forever. Coloring, I mean. I've known him forever, it seems. Back when I was in college, I knew him. never met face to face. That's like 20 years of knowing someone. You've never actually met them. What a weird world we live in. Alright, blending that up. Add some more shades in there. Not like that though. Get that hard line. Whoop. Just like that. Well, thank you. I have lots of ideas, just none of them aren't very good. Oh, man. That sounds like me going through life. Lots of great ideas. Not a lot of them are great ones. I mean, they're great for me, in theory. Maybe it's more the execution that doesn't work out so well. Yeah, there is multiple chats that are going on. There's some that are on Facebook. There's some that are on YouTube. I know it probably makes it real confusing, but I'll try to read the questions out, or the chat, read it out, so that way everyone gets to hear it and see that I'm not crazy and just talking. I mean, that definitely could be a thing. Just come watch this crazy guys. He pretends to color things. He's a little nuts. But that's the entertainment. The Tyler Durden of coloring. I hear he only gets 3 hours of sleep a night. He never goes outside. Why aren't they integrated? Because Facebook couldn't afford to buy YouTube, and Google did it. But Google messed up and created Google Plus, and they tried to be just like Facebook. And then people were like, but we already have Facebook. And Google was just like, okay, I guess we'll just stop doing Google Plus. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I kind of see that on there. I don't know why it would be messed up on YouTube. I saw that it was a little bit sputtery though. Hopefully when the recording goes up, it's not sputtered because it's recording from my computer. Oh no, maybe there's a priority list that happens as far as how it streams, how it uploads. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs. I'm just here to color things. Oh, look at that. Her eyeball's all messy. It's gross. We'll fix that here in post. We'll fix it in post. Nope, can't fix that there in post. I'll have to go from here. There we go. Back to normal as normal can be for a demon. I think she will be, if I'm not mistaken. Page 10. Yeah, she gets pretty gross. She probably should go and see a doctor about that, though. separate this line art. Bum, 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 bum. And it does a thing. And now I get to color behind. Oh, that's good stuff. You know what, Jay? Alan should be over here. I don't know what his thing is with Facebook. I can jump over to the other stream and say, Alan, how come you don't have a Facebook? Aw, such a nice guy. He hasn't answered yet, but I was reading a comment that he left earlier. Get him. Oh, I didn't need blue demon color. Let's see, what color else do I need? Background color would be nice. Background color is always a nice one to grab before going to another page. Or just black. I should just do black. Get that taken care of. That's too much, Jason. Polka dots. Demons do not need to be polka dots. You're not a part of the design committee. And if you said to me that I want you to color polka dots on every demon going forward, I'd have to charge you for each polka dot. Oh, thank you, Tara. No. No. Can't be agreeing on polka dot demons. No. See, it's a good thing that you guys are on the Facebook part of it, and Alan, who creates this, is on the other side, YouTube, so he can't see what you guys are saying. So neener. $5.90. Okay. I'll do that. $599 per dot. What makes it? What's the difference between a dot and a polka? Is it because one of them is more musically inclined? As I do the polka. Oh no. The amount of dots. You know what? I bet if anybody knows. No, that's not common knowledge. I know nothing about polka dots. In fact, I'm against polka dots and glitter. In fact, I don't even care for fairies, and I think they're just butterflies with human bodies, and that's weird. So. Read them when I get a chance? Why is there something in that that's important? Oh, of course. It gets everywhere. I have the same feeling towards glitter as Anakin Skywalker does towards sand. And the only thing I like about unicorns is their blood. It tastes good. It tastes like Skittles. It's warm. It's like warm milk, you know? Warm skittled flavored milk. That's what unicorn blood tastes like. And if you say, well, unicorns aren't real, I've never seen one. Exactly. I mean, I'll still do it if I get paid. See, Jan agrees with me. Unicorns are delicious. It's one of those flavors of meat that you're just not like. It's a little gamey. Like it's a little glittery. It's a little too rainbow colored, I guess. How do you know when it's done? If you're cooking it, it's like blue, green, and all sorts of other rainbow colors, right? Just hypotheticals. Boy, look at that. Well, that's gross. That's fun. That'll be different colors. Oh, cool. Magic elements. Yeah, I love magic stuff. Let's go back over. Yeah, just go back over to this page. We'll grab all the colors that we created. Yeah, unicorn goes down smooth. Gotta get a nice char on it. Keeps the juices inside. What have you seen of Grandma Chainsaw, Jay? Jason McCown, my lord. I don't even think that I can repeat that one. But yeah, it's pretty close to it, yeah. Did you like how issue 3 looked? You enjoy it? Sure you can. It's only us in here. You can divulge any information. What secrets do you know about the FBI? Who shot JFK? Was 9/11 an inside job? These are the real things that we are here to find out. We are not here to just color a comic book. We're here to answer the tough questions. Are there lizard people? And are they running the government? Who are the real Anunnaki? Find out at the end of the show. You know, come across somebody in hell that's wearing white robes and you're like, wow, that's an attractive looking person. You just can't believe them. You never know where they're going to shoot spaghetti noodles out of their nose and attack you with it. Roots, I believe, is what they are actually, not spaghetti. And they do not look like spaghetti. That's not a diss on Brian's work here. It's amazing work. But I'm pretty sure I have baby pictures of me looking kind of the same. and I was eating spaghetti. I just didn't like the noodles, man. They were rough going down. When I was little, I didn't chew my food all the way, so I'd get like a long spaghetti noodle going down my throat, and I'd have to cough it up. And my dad would get mad at me because I'm sitting there hacking up on his spaghetti noodles that he fed me. Well, chew your food, you know? I could have died, but should have chewed up that noodle. Oh, I wouldn't judge. You know, it's just probably how she sneezes. She's just like, achoo. And, you know, shit just gets out of hand. Stuff gets out of hand. There went my monetization. Darn. And kiss those Nike deals goodbye. I know. I wish that I could do the same thing, man. That'd be a cool party trick. It's way better than what I do. I just do stupid card tricks, and I don't do them good. Not well enough to be like, check out this David Blaine, like magic. There'll be times I'll do a magic trick and a card flips right out of my hand, and I'm just like, magic. That's the trick. Yeah, I don't think that Alan will be able to watch it through the Facebook stream. You need YouTube. It's not a stroke, I promise. YouTube needs to figure out their streaming software. I mean, they came first before Facebook did. They should have had this figured out a long time ago. They invested in Twitch. They're a part of Twitch now, I believe. So why don't they just piggyback off of them? Politics. That's why. Somebody had to make a manager happy elsewhere. I'm just guessing. I don't know what Google does. Although I hear that they take good care of their employees, they have like food and stuff, like a restaurant that they can go to, like where they work at. Oh shucks, I hear that they get to watch TV too. Is he now? Well. Welcome to the party, pal. That's not nice. You leave your neighbor's dog alone. And also, that takes Smell My Finger to a whole new level. I don't think it's beneficial to shoot poop from your fingers. Yes, what did the dog do to you? And if you say that it pooped in your yard, I have a good response for that one. Because no matter what, it's the owner's fault, always. My dog gets in the trash. Actually, that's not my fault. He just came that way. Oh, yeah, that's the owner's fault. For sure. I'm like, why won't the owners just be like, get control of the animal and just say, hey, stop barking? It's not a very polite thing to do. There's neighbors trying to sleep and he's wanting to shoot poop from his fingertips, so please quiet down. Because it's getting real serious. Yes, Leo. Leo is currently sleeping down on my foot. So he's keeping it nice and warm. I wouldn't want to poop on Leo because the thing is that only creates problems for me. Because then I'd be like, I would shoot the poop from my fingertips. It would, a weird conversation that we're having. I'd shoot poop from my fingertips and it would land on him. And he would just look at me like, it's okay, man, but you know, you might want to clean this up. I mean, he kind of volunteers to go into the litter box that time, so I don't think being covered in poop is really against him. The world's shit in them enough. Gross. In them? Like inside of them? That's gross. You know, leave those old people alone. I know you meant on. You don't need to waste a chat on a correction. I know what you meant, but I will say it does make it more effective when you say that the world has in them. I'm not cussing on here only because I don't know if I'm allowed to without it getting cut, banned, sent to jail, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't read the terms of service. I said I did. I didn't. I just clicked the button. Shh. Don't tell them. That's clever. Well, thank you, Jay. Says about the only thing that I'll say about Grandma Chainsaw is that I was so happy that the Alan can't come to Facebook. He'll have to create an account first. Oh, I think that you guys can cuss as much as you want to. It's not filtered out through the chat. But I'm trying to be careful with, I cuss a lot. I can't get a day job. So I color comic books, and I am keeping it as professional as I possibly can. I know that we were talking about shooting poop from our fingertips, but that is professional as I can. Holy moly! The words. Goodness. You know, that's not even the correct words though. There's, you know, the George Carlin joke. You should have done that was a good opportunity to throw a good Carlin joke in there. It's poetry, isn't it? Battles. Yeah, I think you guys will be just fine. I don't think Facebook does any sort of banning from the chat. But if I show my boobs, then I'll probably get a Twitch and go there instead. Not like a Twitch, like Twitch, you know. Another streaming service. Who knows? I might develop a Twitch. It could be someone's kink. Watch the guy as he colors, rambles, and twitches. Ooh. Here's $100, buddy. How did he know that? That's my thing. It's off the top of my head. Who is not having a good day at Facebook? Every day that I wake up, I get on there, and it makes me full of happy feelings and stuff. Who is not having a good time on Facebook? Zuckerberg knows what he's doing. He makes the greatest platform known to man. He's not a robot. All right, Jason, thanks for stopping by, hanging out. He's reptilian? Well, no, he can't be reptilian. From the dark side of the moon. Oh man, I see the stream looks like it slowed down. Sorry if it has, it's starting to putter. I'm sure that it will come back. If not, it's probably because we've been talking about Zuckerberg being a lizard and a robot. He's like, I will end your stream. So dastard. So dastardly. Are we going there? Outer space. Outer space is. You know, last week I had a flat earther on here. I love seeing all the different outlooks that people have. Some of us say we went to the moon. Some of us say we didn't. Some of us think that Stanley Kubrick did it. Who knows? I know that I'm clicking around on empty circles. That I do know. And I do know that unicorn blood tastes like glitter and it's warm, like pudding. It's thick, you know. It's like tapioca. Neapolitan tapioca pudding. Now with glitter. Yay! And I'll go ahead and get him separated in there. Who thinks that the world is flat or that space is a myth? Oh, wow. So, are they religious? So I guess it has nothing to do with the filament that it talks about in the Bible, according to them. Because we're not supposed to be able to go past it. Space is a myth. No, it happens. I've gone down rabbit holes. Believe it or not, but I used to have QAnon bookmarked. Boy, that's some good times. I lost a lot of my life on that, just reading all the stuff. The TikTok rabbit holes. Yeah, I've gone down the YouTube ones myself. The dark side of YouTube. Yeah, you choose to. Man, I would hope so. Can't just be us in a bubble. That's a bummer. Man, imagine you just, it'd be like kind of like Beetlejuice. You pass away and stuff, and you go and you get your ticket. And then that's when they tell you all the secrets. By the way, no, it's a bummer. I hear that they're rebooting or they're creating a sequel to Beetlejuice, and that they're bringing Michael Keaton back to do it. I don't know if that's accurate information. I'm pretty sure that it is. There was like the title for it or something that showed up as like a teaser trailer for the trailer that doesn't exist yet. You know how they do? They create a teaser for a movie that's not even made. Oh, good. So it wasn't just in my imagination. Sometimes that happens. Man, I can't wait for that Ghostbusters movie to come out. I haven't seen the new one yet, but I was looking forward to it. And I have fairly recently, since I last talked with you, Jay, I have watched the new Batman movie. I was looking forward to it quite a bit, actually. I don't hate it. I'll just put that out there. I just think that it could have been better. There was a lot of unnecessary breathing room left in that movie. A lot of stares. That could have been because the director forgot to say cut, and they just kept filming. I doubt it. Overall, it was still one of the better Batman movies because they made him more of a detective instead of someone that flies around on a grappling hook everywhere. That was enjoyable. The Batmobile, the fact that they made that into more of a horror-like car, that was a stroke of genius, honestly. To make that car a scary thing to go up against was, whew, that would have scared the poop out of me. I wouldn't have liked that. Yeah, a good 30 minutes. Actually, the entire first part of the movie where it's it's the Riddler and he's breathing and he's watching the guy, and then we focus on that guy, and then they like it's from the trailer, so it's not really spoiling anything. And then the guy gets killed. None of that. That's like 12 minutes of the movie. That none of that even needed to be there. Because what did that do for a storytelling aspect? It just go, hey, who's that? Oh, it must be Riddler because we saw him in the trailer, and he killed a guy. That's 12 minutes of that. That's all that it is. Oh, and he has a son. All that information is given to us as the viewer later. We come across the dead body. We find out who the dead body is. We find out that there's a riddle. Ooh, mystery. They could have cut out that first 12 minutes. That's quite a bit. Was the Joker in it? Well, kinda. There's a deleted scene that has Joker in it. I thought that the actor that did it did a pretty good job of being that character. I think that they actually could have kept that scene in the movie. They didn't, but they could have. I think they could have. He is in the movie as like a cameo, and that part to me, when he was in there as a cameo, was a bit cheesy. It just, like, everything is all kind of serious tone throughout the movie, and then you get like this, it just seemed out of place kind of a scene. A little too old Adam West Batman. Old Adam West Batman meets Christopher Nolan. Just the contrast wasn't right. But overall, I think that it was a good movie. One of the better Batman movies. I am glad that they kept it more grounded. I mean, they try to keep it grounded. I bet studio was like, yeah, but can we get like a grappling hook or something? Can we get like some devices, some special effects? So. I was always more of a into the Batman that was more hand-to-hand combat, like the animated series. He didn't rely too much on shark repellent spray and things like that. He was more of, kung fu-y, but also detective. Batman the animated series just seemed to get who Batman was. More so than the movies, I would say. Yeah, those would be cool characters to explore. I don't think that they would do that again, however, because that would just go back to Batman solving another serial killer crime. I think, if anything, they'd want to do it something that's more probably mob-related, criminal for their next one. It seems like that's what they were setting up. And this one is, Penguin is the new kingpin kind of a thing. And I'm sure that there'll be like a Harvey Dent kind of a thing going on. Then again, I could be completely wrong. They could have Poison Ivy in there. Not that they should. Scarface? He's the puppet? That would be weird. Next one. But, I mean, it's just a speculation, of course, right now. I don't know why that they are saying that Mr. Freeze would be the next one. I mean, the name for him. Could you imagine if in the list that they have that little dummy doing lines of cocaine, just so that way they can bring that realism to the audience? Careful sniffing so close to the table, Scarface, you'll get splinters. There's so many tentacles is it coming out of our nose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Ew, they're coming through her teeth. Man, this lady's gross. This is why it's important to floss. I love the Joker, but Jokered out. He has to have his own movie, you're right. Yeah, Batman is one of those ones that's like, he's a good character as himself, of who he is, because he's got that mysterious factor. And his rogues gallery is one that is equally as good as the character, if not better than the character. I mean, you go look at other heroes, and you get, well, like Superman. He's got some good ones. What's that? Metallo. What do you mean by pirate? What is this? Is she going to be a pirate? Yeah, she nails being Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie. She seems to, from what I've seen of her, she seems to get the character quite a bit too. Like, she understands who the character is and has a lot of fun with it. The actors that seem to have fun with their characters are the ones that really shine through. What? She's replacing Jack Sparrow? Wow. This is news to me. Huh. I'm guessing as a different character. Unless it's like some magic curse thing that took away or gave her a... Yeah, Paul Dini. Yeah, she is a perfect Harley. I would like to see Henry Cavill in a Brainiac Superman movie as well. Brainiac, that's one that they don't ever use. I don't know why. I guess because writers like to take the easy way out and not write somebody who's smart. No, it's much easier to write a stupid villain than it is a smart one. Well, why is he doing bad things? He's mad. Oh. Well, why does he want to take over the world? Oh, he's really upset on Tuesday. Villains, man. Sorry, bro. Just skydive or something. You're barely believable as a human being. Not to say that he's a bad actor. I mean, I guess I am saying that he's a bad actor, so. Oh, what's he going to do? Join this stream and say something about it and get me lots of views from, saying that this guy that lives in the middle of nowhere said that I wasn't a good actor. Well, you guess what, Mr. Orlando Bloom? You're the worst. Well, no, you're not the worst. You're not great. You're okay. If it was between you, Keanu Reeves, as far as acting ability goes, I would still use Keanu Reeves because I like his personality more, and he's not a good actor. We all know it. Even when he's Neo, he is still Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, come at me, bro. No, I would be happy if he was upset because any publicity is good publicity. Just come at me, bro. I'm scared. Take your little elf ears. Legolas, what does your elvish eyes see? See the guy that's really mad at him and he's saying that I'm not a good actor. I'm sure he knows. Keanu he's not a good actor, but as a human being, he is definitely one of the best. And he is still enjoyable to watch. Even if the movie that he is in is complete garbage, you could still leave it going, well, at least Keanu Reeves was good. He's fun to watch. Whoa. No, it's not that I have anything against Orlando Bloom. He's just not. He's not believable. There was a movie that I decided to watch just a little bit of as I was flipping through some streaming channel thing, and he showed up on it, and at first I thought it was a military show or movie, like a European military, because of his accent. But then I noticed that he switched his accent to sound almost like he was Southern, but then he went back to saying like European words, and I was just like, I don't know where this takes place. Like, is this the Americans or is this the Europeans? Like, I don't know what this is about. Like, come on, Orlando, get it together. Who are they? Lizards? The lizard people? The Anunnaki? The Anunnaki? Those crazy albino aliens messing with the old ancient Sumerians. How dare they? They screwed up so much stuff. Oh man. Those guys. Just came to Earth like a practical joke. Hey, we're gonna come here and we're gonna just, create some people and split. Let them figure it out later. The lizard people. You know what? What's up with you guys? Not that I actually have a problem with them. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, to be honest, but you know who you are. This lady's got some fangs on her. I'm going to assume with gums and noodles like that she's not much on brushing. So she gets some nice yellowy dentures. Oh, hi, kitty. Will you go ahead and jump, please? Thank you. This is like doing surgery right now, and you're messing me up. Oh man, that person's never gonna walk again. Darn. Oh no, that's Nova. Don't look at me like that, Nova. You know who you are. Nova is a big giant. Hey. She's full of fluff. She's very soft and squishy. Do all sorts of fun things with her. There you go. Have fun. And she sheds like crazy. I mean, his fur just like explodes from her body like that. It's everywhere. Gets in your food. So if you don't mind eating food, you can always come by. I make something special usually once a month. Oh, I never colored her lip. What a loser. And I'll just not worry about that. Just take the color. Oops. It's that age-old joke of coloring on the wrong layer. Yeah, she's a squishy cat. She hates being cuddled so much. She hates it. And I don't mind it. Pep, however, he's my little orange one. He may show up at some point. I don't know. Leo's at my feet right now, so Kev may just be like, oh, I just want to avoid that. It's like, this is what Snow White has to live with. You know, just animals everywhere, all the time. And she's got 7 dwarfs to feed. I wonder how much that costs to feed 7 dwarfs daily. I bet less than it costs to feed 4 normal humans. Oh man, you just wait until I start really coloring it. I'm making everything one tone. I barely call it coloring. Actually, this isn't the coloring bit of it. This is file setup. This is all this part is. It's the illusion of coloring. This is what you can tell your kids to do for you. Like, you can show them how to do the flatting process, and you can like not pay them money, or you can pay them and say it's a chore, and that way that they don't have to do the dishes, or you can still make them do the dishes and flat for you. My kids hated flatting so much. We don't want to flat for you anymore, Dad. Just buy it somewhere else. It's not even really coloring. Shh. Who told you that? You did. We saw it on your tutorial. Shh. What's wrong with you kids? I'm only partially joking. I did teach my kids how to flat, which is what I'm doing right now. This is this whole process. And because they would watch me as I would color, they'd have questions and stuff, and I would answer them. And at one point, and I'm not the only one, I actually got the idea from several other colors. They were like, oh, I don't even pay for a flatter anymore. I just use my kids. No. That's freaking genius. I never even thought about that. So, child labor laws are different, I guess, for when you're a freelancer. What does flatting do? I'll show you. Let me get this little selection here. Plop, plop. Flatting is the process that it allows the colors to go in and select certain colors. without having to go in and go around it, like lasso tool it. I guess it's better to just show instead of explain, because it'd be like, what the heck is he talking about? But it was faster. Say that I send this in and Alan is just being a complete jerk that day. It never happens. But let's say that he's just like, I don't like her skin tone. Like, let's change her skin tone. I could just go in there and select just her skin tone without having to go in through all of that stuff again. I can just select whatever is that color, because underneath all the line art, it looks like that. It looks like she has a bloody nose and has a lot of trauma happening over here on this side. So what I can do is I can just go in there and select those colors, just the single color if I want. Say I just want a color on that line or on that layer or that color. I can just go in and select that color and color that, which is what I'm about to do right now, looks like, because it looks like everything is separated. And I do, for books like this one, like what's called cell shading, I have my own technique for it, I would say, because I don't see anyone that uses it this way, that does it this way, I should say. That doesn't make me special in any sort of way, just I like to do it differently. And what I do is I select all of the characters on each panel, and I copy and paste them onto their own layer, and I just turn on a highlight. Automatically it has the highlights, and then I mask that off, and now all I have to worry about is coloring the shadows. And I use black and white, and see, now I can just color the shadows. And if there's something that looks off, let's say that, you know, like right there, I went into her hair, I just switched to the other color, add the highlight back, and now we're back. We don't have to worry about coloring and all the different shades of colors and stuff. But that's only if I'm doing it in a this cell shaded style, like what you would see in cartoons and stuff. It's just the two colors, like a highlight and then a shadow, basically. And I just basically follow Brian's lines like this. It's almost like ruining the magic trick, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. There's only 12 cards in the deck. It's pretty easy to find your card. I think I'll color all that in right there. Just give it some depth. And her neck will be like that. It's cool to know about how the flattening process of it works. Yeah, I mean, when I first started doing this, it was in 2003, I want to say. I knew nothing. This was back before YouTube had tutorial videos on how to color. Like, if you wanted to know how to do it, you had to either know someone that knew how to do it, or you had to figure it out yourself. And a lot of people just kind of figured it out themselves. And I was kind of fortunate in that part of it because I stumbled on tutorials. I mentioned earlier, actually, that John Rock, he's a well-known colorist, and it was one of his tutorial videos that I saw that really just helped me out quite a bit, because before I learned how to color, I knew Photoshop quite a bit. I did it for manipulating photos photo compositions and things like that when I was like 16. And I started doing design work and working with it more like as an actual job when I was 16, 17, 18. And then after that, I started getting into the artwork side of it. And then when I was at college, I found John Rock's tutorials on how to separate line art, and he has his own process on how to do it as well. I got a job at Hi-Fi Comics, or Hi-Fi Design, where we worked on a lot of DC comic books, and that was the learning experience of a lifetime. To be able to just be thrown in on Future's End, which was DC's big like series that they had going on for a while. And I came from someone that did a coloring job on DeviantArt, and then right after that I was thrown into an event book, and I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Fake it till you make it. But Brian at Hi-Fi, he's really good. He would tell me what needed to be changed, how to do it, and he was really helpful, like really getting me to understand certain things of this business. May not have been the most patient person, but it's understandable. You've been doing it for as long as he has, and all of a sudden you got this dopey dude that's just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to be a colorist just like you. And I believe the second book that I worked on at Hi-Fi was Supergirl. One of the Supergirl books. They all start to blur together. Decided to hook you up. Junior. And that's somebody who I had been wanting to work with for quite a long time. And Humberto Ramos, I've wanted to work with him ever since I was a teenager. And I got to work on something of his. And as soon as I saw the artwork, I was just like, wait a minute, I know who this is. So it's one of my favorite artists. So I was fortunate in doing that. Working with Mark Silvestri, that was the first gig that I had. Big gig. I had nothing to show for a coloring portfolio, and I was very fortunate just to be associated with quite a bit of people, because I used to kind of work in comics, but not really. In 2005, I attempted it, not as full-time, but I worked on a book called Return of the Super Pimps. You take what you can get, you know. And Richard Hamilton, he was the writer for that one. He later went on to go and work at DreamWorks Animation. Silvestri is a legend. You're right, Jay. It was surreal, I will say. It was surreal that you grow up like listening or reading about these people, these comics. You know, you get Wizard magazine, and these people become like these legends in your head, like these idols, you know, somebody that you follow and like, oh, I like what he did here, like I love this guy's series. It may, like, that artist may have been the reason why you got into comics. Joe Mad was the reason why I enjoyed reading comics. And Mark Silvestri, just getting an email that has his name on it, and then the conversation of where he's basically telling you what you need to do. It was a very surreal moment of just being like, this is it. I was very lucky just to be right out of the gate and be associated and doing work with people who I grew up idolizing. And then all of a sudden it just becomes like a normal everyday thing to where you don't even think about it. And my kids helped to humble me in that way. I was actually talking to a friend just the other day saying that, you know, you can go to like a store and you see like those action figures and stuff, and you see the artists that designed those packages for those toys, and I know quite a few of those people. Like I talked to them quite a bit, and I would say to my son, just be like, "Hey, look, I know who did that. I know the artist that did that, and oh, I know who did this one. I know who did that." And they would just be like, "Okay," because it's not important to them at all. It's just not in their wheelhouse. They grew up around it, and it's just a normal thing. So when going to cons and stuff, to them seeing an artist was just like, oh, it's just one of Dad's friends. Yeah, so I should have invented Minecraft. That way I would have been a hero to my kids. There's still a few artists that I'd like to work with, though. I've worked with quite a few writers. Mark Wade, I've colored on his stuff before. That was for something Justice League related. If I remember correctly. I remember that Hawk Girl was in that issue. That's all I remember. I don't remember what else happened in there. There was tanks. Ooh, excuse me. That was a sneeze. So I'm going to go ahead and clear all this in between all those red lines, because I can fix that because of the way that I color all this. I'm not too worried about getting it super detailed right away. And I know that Alan has a stream at some point. I think he's supposed to text me some information about his stream, about what's going on. He's doing some sort of interview. If he's still listening. Let's see, how long has this stream been going on for? An hour and a half, it says. Even though that I was actually flattening the other page for quite a bit longer. Did it? Let's see. They may have a some sort of limit thing. Yeah, maybe they have a limit. I'm not exactly sure, because it just ended on its own for that one. Oh, what are you cooking tonight? And how come I wasn't invited? And look at me, you know I like to eat. I run on 90% food. Chicken and dumplings? Oh my goodness. For reals? That sounds good. I wasn't even hungry, and now, look what you've done. I asked for it though, so it's my fault. Yeah, a little bit. Use. Right? Well, yeah. Just want to sit at home and, what'd you say, be recluse? No, I want to sit at home and not be poor. By that I mean I have to work. Oh yeah? You gotta put a tree in it? Into your giant pot. I know what you meant. This is how I make jokes. Yeah, you are, aren't you? But at least that's one less car on the road. Man. Does she just tuck it all back into her face? Does she suck it back in like her boogers? Does it get like stuck? Oh. We only hurt the ones we love. Shame. Treat it just like poor Cersei walking down the street. Shame. Incest Cersei. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, there's a lot that happens. Incest being one of those weird stuff that was happening in it, which, whatever, it's a show, I don't care. Fact. It's just kind of. Yeah, here's a funny little story. We'll tell you, Jay, because you know who Todd Mc. Of course, I say Todd McFarlane. You know who Todd McFarlane is, right? I've told this story many times because it was so embarrassing at the time. Looking back on it, I think things worked out okay. But back when I was living in Arizona, he has a toy company in Arizona. And back when I was living there, I was before I was a colorist. That I was looking for a job, and they had a posting for a package designer at Todd McFarlane Productions, and I thought, well, I know him. I saw him in magazines and stuff like Wizard Magazine. He draws Spawn. I know him. And so I decided I'll make a good impression and I'll show up at where, this job opening's at. Make a good first impression. I'm not good at those. That was a bad idea on my part. And when I was driving there, it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It was just on a dirt road, but there was like a factory that had a fence. And that was the only thing that was out there. And I was like, well, this has to be it. Phone service was dying and I couldn't really get good GPS. And, this is back before technology was good enough to send people to the moon. But there was a UPS truck that was driving in front of me. And I figured, if anything, he probably knows where he's going. So I followed him into this factory, past the security guard, that looked like he was about to tell me to stop driving. But, I was just like, I'm going to follow this UPS truck because he probably knows where he's going. And he did. And when I got up to the front door, I followed the UPS guy. Inside, the painted yet, they were still white, just white plastic. And I just got like an inside view of and I was there for a job. And when they said that, how did I get in? I let them know. Though I should have probably applied for security because it seems pretty relaxed. But I never got to meet Todd McFarlane, but I did apply for a job at his company. Do you remember Chaos Comics? There was some guys from Image that started that. That had Evil Ernie, I think, in there, Lady Death and all them. And they were also stationed in Arizona. And when I first moved to Arizona, I thought that I could probably find their company from Wizard Magazine, and it had their address of like where to mail letters and stuff. And I showed up at this building that didn't have any sort of signs or anything saying that it was Chaos Comics. And like a doofus, because I didn't know any better, I was just some dumb kid, I just walked in there asking for a job as a comic artist. And some guys that looked like they were selling Maytag dryers were like, what? I was like, yeah, Chaos Comics. They're here, right? I got this Wizard magazine. It's like 7 years old. They're like, what is... I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Yeah. There's comics and stuff here. But no, we just sell dryers and wash machines. Oh. I didn't get that job either. Not that they were even hiring. I just went there on a whim. Turns out they weren't a thing anymore. I didn't know. I stopped collecting Wizard magazine, but that would have been really helpful. I usually find myself in weird, precarious situations. I can leave my house and find myself in weird situations. Ooh, Alan is texting. I'll get to do some covers here pretty soon for Pocus Hocus. And I am looking forward to doing those so much. Man, Brian, that guy. It's no joke. I work with a lot of different artists, and over the years and stuff, you work with them, you get used to like how they do things. And I've worked with some really great artists. Man, you just see like how he does things, and you're going places. You know what you're doing. You're taken care of. You're good. Like, he knows all the things that are important to know, how to lay out the pages. He gives enough room in the panels. That breathing room is important. He gets right down to just the centering this action right down the middle of that. Look at that, bam. He just knows what he's doing every time. It's great being able to work with an artist that just knows. There's so many times that you begin to color something or work with through something and you're like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why is there different shadows coming from different places? That doesn't make sense. But Brian lays it all out. He does an exceptional job. That I'm not persistent. Man, I know. I'm so persistent that Mark Silvestri and me are not friends on Facebook anymore. Not that like it was ever any sort of ill thing. In fact, I think from what I remember, he adds people randomly and then deletes them to make room for more, like all the time. It never ended like badly between us at all. We enjoyed working together. Man, I agree. For some guys that like this is their first outing, they're hitting everything right. It's going well. Very well. Exceptionally well. And the team that they put together, that is, I don't know, luck. That it does seem to work on all aspects throughout. Like, yeah, it's what you really are looking for is not who can make the other guy look good. It's not about me making Brian look good. It's about the complementing it, making it work together, not making it outshine. Some of us out there would like to overdo it just a bit. Called over-rendering. Like I said, I didn't get her teeth. Terrible. He's good though. Now we'll just merge that layer down. We'll add some special effects here, but now we're going to do those little white dots that adds some extra highlights. I've had some, and I learned that they don't want you to be honest at all. Man, we do, don't we? I talked to Alan quite a bit about it, where both like it'll just be Brian, like he'll do like a little sketch or something real quick, and like a page layout. And every time that I see it, I kind of get a good idea of how it's going to look when he's done with it. Because now that I've colored so many of his pages and his work, I kind of have a good idea of what it is that he's doing. Even if it is just a scribble, I'll just be like, oh, I know what that is. So yeah, you're right. It works pretty well. We all work pretty well together. And one of the things Alan had mentioned before on your show was how they give the artist that chance to kind of not breathe, but to do their thing. to do their own thing. As a full-time colorist, and that I may have, because I've run across it before, and they still just want to do things their way, it doesn't ever work. And it causes problems later down the line of when you're trying to get to the printing stage and it's not looking right. And then you have to go back, redo things, and it just creates. Never sit there and tell Brian, you should draw it like this. No way, man. You do you. If it works, works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Important thing is that you had fun doing it. But let's be honest here. I don't know if I got enough hard drive space to keep this recording moist. Dots and lines. To be honest, Alan has been sending me lots of things lately. And with Pocus Hocus and Grandma Chainsaw, and I work on a few other titles, it gets a little confusing, admittedly. And, you know, I have a life outside of work, so I'm trying to keep everything all straight. Sometimes it's hard to remember what kind of food my dog likes to eat, which I don't think he's that picky. He goes into the litter box, so. It's like, why do I even buy you food? The cat makes all the food for you. I don't think Alan had mentioned that yet. He may have. Ooh, that's my puppy, but he must be walking outside. He's a little upset. Try and keep my little guy a little calmer. Feel better there, guy. Alrighty, now we do the finishing touches, these little glowy effects. We do them on this layer I put on screen mode. That's screen, not to be confused with scream. But yeah, we do this, it'll add the highlights, the glowy magic stuff. Which his magic is always blue. That was something we decided on early on, so that way it's always familiar when we see it. Alrighty. And there's the glowy stuff. Hey, come here. It's got you all upset, dude. Should I make her eye glow? You know what I get for some glowy eyes? Give her some yellowy. Let's go with orange. And then I think that this page, actually almost done. Make it look pretty. Hopefully I don't give away too much of the back stuff. Like, here, look at this page, it's important. I don't think that they mind that I show certain things. A nice handy little tip. I don't think it'd be a tip. Technique is I check some certain boxes that will allow me to just select these little sections like this. And sometimes you'll get something like that, and that's okay, because we can take care of that pretty easily. It's just doing this saves time later. Back in the day before learning how to do stuff like this, where you just go through and use that one tool and select all that stuff, that lasso tool, this one, and you would have to go in and circle each little one. And now I just go and do this, just click around. As Brian Miller told me, there's no correct way to do it as long as the end result looks right. I've tried it. I've done it before though, I guess. So as long as it's not anything that I have to edit heavily, it's not so bad. Alright, now this little bottom section, like that. And now we will use our lasso tool. These little pieces like this. Oh, look at that. There's some more hidden over here on this side. I think that all colorists make sound effects when they do this. If they don't, they're lying. Well, that's not the color I wanted, but that's okay. I missed a spot. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's see, what color did I make it? I think this will be the final touch to make some glowy stuff. And then you'll be on your own. After this, I'm gonna take a nap. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just keep working. Sometimes we do that. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. You covered up all that line art, though. That's real bad. That's okay. Boom, fixed. And now we're done, right? I think so. No, we're not. Not yet. I missed something. I missed quite a bit, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I missed that entire background. That's okay, because it's a quick thing. Just get that color. What I do is I select the background. Nap sounds good, man. That nap. I took one earlier. I don't need another one. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. It's Friday night. I think people do things on Friday nights usually. I am at home on a stream. That's my life. My choice. I wanted to get this stuff done. Smash. Click. Here we go. It looks okay. Do you see what I see? Fix that little thing. Yeah. It's subtle. It's a subtle color. Alrighty. Sometimes I'm like Tyler Durden with his sleep schedule. For reals, like Tyler Durden of coloring. Have you heard of Tyler Durden? I hear he only sleeps 3 hours a night. It'd be like that sometimes, man. I'm not gonna go and start Fight Club or anything. Well, not again. It didn't go so well that first time. People got upset. Feelings were hurt. Abracadabra. That's a freaky lady. You know what would actually make that look really cool, though? This little panel. Actually, this panel here, too. Give it that nice, old school, drama shading, I guess is what you'd call it. That little highlight kind of a thing. Reverse. Something similar to that. Then we reverse this. With those colors, and we'll change the color tones. Yeah, bring up that red so that way it looks a little bit more menacing. Thanks for enjoying this lovely stream and having fun, keeping me company. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And now I will send these pages off. Dave will take over. He'll get them lettered. That means have bubbles. So, with that, I say goodbye in a moment. after I save this. Thank you, Tata. Bye-bye now. What, boy?